A man in Walker County faces a tough situation tonight. He's living out of his car. A fire broke out at a restaurant next door to his home and forced his electricity to be shut off. And now, even though he's allowed back into his apartment, he claims his landlord refuses to get the power restored. Local 3's Xavier Harris has this 3 on Your Side story.
What looks like an everyday means of transportation to some is what Tony Iglesias is calling home.
I pray about it, man. I just pray about it and hope that everything is better and that they start looking up soon, I hope.
There was a fire at the popular restaurant The Dinner Bell on December 11th. Iglesias' apartment is attached to the restaurant, and he and his family were home during the fire.
We were just hanging out here and all of a sudden started smoking everywhere, and the fire department pulled up and told everybody to get out.
According to the restaurant owners, it was a fire that started in the kitchen, and Iglesias and his family had to find somewhere to stay.
The fire department gave me the number of the Red Cross, and they gave us the funds to stay at a motel.
He says the motel stay was only for a few days, and the fire department told him and his family that they could go back to the home. But when they got there, they realized they couldn't stay.
I had no meter. There's no meter. I'm like, where's the meter at?
He had no power. He says he called EPB, the fire department, and the city of Flintstone, and they all said the same thing.
Talk to your landlord.
He says in order to get the meters placed back into his apartment, the landlord has to request them or pass an inspection. So he reached out to his landlord.
The landlord won't answer my calls and my messages. I've tried for 4 or 5 days now.
Iglesias provided us with screenshots of him reaching out to the landlord, and you can see he hasn't gotten a reply. He called him during our interview, and he got no answer then. According to the magistrate court of Fulton County, courts in Georgia have upheld that when a landlord fails to respond to repair requests after a reasonable time, tenants can hire a repair person to perform the needed repairs. The cost must be reasonable, and the tenant may deduct the cost from the rent.
I didn't think my landlord would do it to me. I really didn't. I thought it was a different kind of person.
Iglesias says he tried finding another apartment, but because he's paying rent at his apartment with no power, he doesn't have the money to move elsewhere.
Didn't plan on it happening right now before Christmas.
Iglesias says the landlord owns the gas station Flint Food Market just a few steps from his apartment. So we went to ask about the missing meters.
My name's Xavier. I am a reporter for Local 3 News.
Here right now.
Gotcha.
He wasn't there, so we gave him a call.
And we want to get your side of what's going on.
He replied that he had no comment for this story.
It's frustrating, and trying to keep my temper and try and follow, the right procedures. I'm paying rent here. I pay my rent. I should be able to stay here.
Iglesias says he's hoping by putting his story out there, it will motivate his landlord to move quicker and get him out of his car and back into his home. Reporting in Walker County, I'm Xavier Harris, Local 3 News.